as the short shared, if you didn't watch it, I will just share since I know you don't all watch the shorts and the long versions, but cutting out stereotypes is very straightforward for an actual healthy self-worth human being, woman or man or they. But I'm a woman and I'm told by men that I'm a woman, so I'll respect that. And when I see women speaking sentences such as, we have to stop telling the story that looks don't matter, and so they're perpetuating stereotypes and they're looking beautiful on camera, makes me think of a lot of things. That one, they don't know 100%. They're 0 1 year old here. The cutting of the stereotype is easy for those of us who have evolved, because yes, evolutionary psychology, I know all about a lot of stuff. I'm attachment and trauma informed, and I keep on educating myself. So for example, I have this lovely book right here that I have yet to open up because there's updated information that is most likely even more effectively relevant than this one. But why beautiful people have more daughters? Sure, from dating, shopping, and praying to going to war and becoming a billionaire to evolutionary psychologists explain why we do what we do. These are only 2 evolutionary psychologists. I have other people that are actually quite more advanced, again, in the way of the attachment and trauma information. This is important to note because I'm going to share with you what I'm talking about when I say cutting those cords. Eric Fromm, The Art of Loving. He's my most favorite. I have a lot of favorites, but I loved when I got a handle of his book because I knew love was for all in a verb. Everybody else has these conditions. They don't know healthy self-worth. Thank you, Terry Real. By the way, Terry Real, he's a good therapist that you could find online very easily. He helps couples to stay together, and he has a lot of great information. One of which, and Patrick Tiahan, he's also a therapist. And he's for childhood trauma survivors who want to move into becoming their reparenting and their adult, which are beautiful. So Terry Real helps couples, and Patrick Tiahan, childhood trauma survivors. So both give you great self-awareness and awareness, and they don't do stereotypes, unlike the pretty people that paint themselves, which I like painting myself too sometimes. So here's another one. This one's even nicer. The Scientification of Love. Michelle Odent, I pronounce it not effectively, I know. But let's look at what instead is actually really going to benefit any of you who are interested in being smart. Because see, smart, stable, mature, adaptive, rational, teachable would mean you know about your left and right mode. That's right. Let me inform you. Thank you, though, first of all, Daniel Siegel, for this part, because what I'm about to say about right and left. So if you want to learn about the mind, Daniel Siegel, A Journey to the Heart, I think it says, of Being Human. I'm not going to open them, otherwise I won't be able to read all of it. Also, Peter Levine, great to read his In an Unspoken Voice, How the Body Releases Trauma and Restores Goodness. That one's a good read for anyone who's interested in being smart, human, and healthy self-worth and actually confident. And I say actually because, see, when you have an open heart, which means if I look good or not, it really doesn't make me feel my 1-year-old. My ancestors, I know that when they would get kicked out of their tribe, see, I know about evolutionary psychology, which is why I know pretty much, and existential psychology. Not all of them, but I know their, what is it called, the gist of it. Plus there's a video on the Well or Big Think where one guy, in fact, explains why the majority, I laugh when they say the majority because they're calculating only the, what I consider Peter Pans who follow, no, they're the Peter Pans, the Lost Boys follow them. So it's people who don't actually understand how our body processes memory and how we can move beyond things. But really it's the mind. So again, the way that a whole 3-year-old heart can say, I got a blank canvas, you just spoke words to me. I understood them because my right mode is keeping all of the information together because it's an analogical thinker. Excuse me, the right mode is over here. Thank you, Daniel Siegel. The left is the digital one, and it's black and white, and it just wants right or wrong. But see, I'm a creator. My right is all over everything all the time, and I'm a divine feminine with my divine masculine. So my body is ooey gooey ooey with human beings. And so when I hear evolutionary psychology, I understand what you said. I also know about what is transgenerational trauma and how we can break away from it, because I'm learning from updated people who talk about how our sense of ourself in and of itself is not fixed. Thank you, Daniel Siegel. It's a verb, and I can work with my attachment system. In fact, I can integrate, my brain is integrated All hands on deck. Right and left mode. My default mode network is downregulated, and integration of the brain in human terms is a pacha handshake, kindness, and compassion. Open 3-year-old heart right here. 5D collective, come on board. So we also read things like this, practical insights in brain science to help students learn, uncommon sense teaching, something like that. Let's see, polyvagal exercises for safety and connection. Thank you, Deb Dana. Yes. And then we have Becoming Aware, Daniel Siegel. And Aware again, the science and practice of presence. He's really great. You should read a lot of his books and just get to know himself, or take his Mindsight Institute courses. They're all great. Interpersonal neurobiology. If you really care to learn about the brain, and it's a lot of very good words for those of you who are inclined to want to use the left mode. I'm an academic. I have a master's, but I just love learning. So I'm okay when there's words I don't understand. I go look them up, but really I can get the gist of it because my right mode is keeping it all here. Unknowns, uncertainties. I don't get frustrated like a 3-year-old because I'm not a 3-year-old anymore. And I got told a lot of times how you don't know everything. You need to listen first, then you can understand it. And if you don't understand, you ask more questions. Polysecure, Jessica Fern, that one's a good one for anybody who wants to know about not only how to be a secure attachment polyamory person, which is way better than if you do not have secure attachment. The power of attachment, that one's actually very important. Thank you, Diane Poole Heller. And let's see, anything else that I want to share before we keep going because I'm running out of time? Restorative embodiment, yes, and resilience. Oh, and interconnected, Daniel Siegel. The other one instead is from Alan Fogel. Yes, very great. Polyvagal safety, Stephen W. Porges. Attachment, communication, self-regulation. Oh, brainstorm, Daniel Siegel again. Mindsight, Daniel Siegel. Yes, and then Handbook of Attachment Theory, Research, and Clinical Application. That's by Judy Cassidy and Philip R. something. Then we have somebody else here, I don't remember. So we won't read those, but back to us. Why do actually confident human beings not give two shits about looks? We already know. Yes, I forgot to share again this one. Why beautiful people make beautiful children. Anyone who is on the screen will know. Anyone who's using a brain will know. But the stereotypes are really not true because there's also ugly people who make it out there. And really what I wanted to touch upon was the aspect of the whole 3-year-old heart. So I, though, have something on my side. It's called a mother, who's my caregiver, who raised me. And she raised me with equanimity and the ideal parenting style. And so I got to explain things, which is why I don't have a shame button. Not even one, as she likes to point out sometimes. So when I hear you can be ugly, what I know, my mother's from Naples, Italy, Neapolitan. There's a saying, every cockroach is beautiful to their mother. So I knew since I was a child, if I'm ugly, I'm still going to be unconditionally loved. I also got told, since my entire family is short, of how my shorts will not be able to make me look pretty next to somebody who's tall. So I remember hearing that, and I'm like, that's interesting. But aren't people interested in my brain? Aren't they going to grow up and be interested? Since they use the word smart and confident, I'm going to assume that means they're going to not judge a book by its cover. So while evolutionary psychologists maintain the idea that, oh yes, that interview, that all people want a silverback, no. Some of us, we don't, because we use our right and have fun, and our left, and we're like, you know what, it's okay. Looks do matter, but they don't at the same time, because smart people will go beyond the looks. So we don't really care for the ones who are so superficial that they literally continue perpetuating gender stereotypes overall, and making blanket statements. And the confusion. Nobody's confused when you have the healthy self-worth. So I got lucky because I have healthy self-worth. So as a teenager, I did get told that I wasn't pretty. And I knew, you don't love me. Because if you're teasing me about my height and all of this, that's not love. Love is, I'm going to lift you up and make you feel beautiful even when you're not. So as a species, yes, we're all beautiful. Some people don't like that. The same people, they actually have a shame defectiveness. So their lifeline is at risk of being cut because they need to feel worthy. So when you have to work for love, you don't know that you can just breathe and be here. Oh, and the smart people, we also like to care about our herd. So we're actually taking care of each other by believing in ourselves. We know how to love each other for real, not pretend, because we know inner and outer well-being. It's called the integration of the brain and restorative embodied self. A whole 3-year-old heart. Tune in for more.